It's fall, y'all, and I'm your basic host, Gagne. With me, as always, my partner in crime, Naldo. How you doing, buddy?
I'm well. How's it going, man?
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm happy. It's fall. It's Halloween season. We're getting into the spooky times. Do you
Yeah.
tend to watch the spooky films all year long, or are
I
you
love them. I
okay?
do.
Always okay.
I try to watch several spooky films. It always feels better watching it during the Halloween spooky season. Like I
Agreed.
can't watch a scary movie in the daytime. It has to be at night. Just I got to get into that mood. But I like them. I do. I enjoy them.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, we're rolling on it. FYC is in full force with the Halloween films.
Yeah.
And what do we got in store for everyone today?
Oh my gosh, we went back into the 60s. We went back to the late 60s for this one, 1968. The ever classic Rosemary's Baby. Now, I've never seen this. You haven't seen it either.
No, never saw it.
So we're doing a movie that we both haven't seen. This is always fun because we don't know what to expect. This movie sucked. This movie was rough, man. Really quick, go if you're watching a movie from a different era and you weren't part of the era, it's hard to watch it. Every era has a different type of the way they speak, the way they dress, the way they act it. It's just different.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, this era, the 60s, the late 60s, I'm just can't get into it. So watching these actors kind of come together and put this thing on, I didn't feel it, man.
Yeah, this I think is probably our oldest film that we've covered so far, and it feels dated. And that's the issue. The biggest issue I had with this is that I think for a lot of people, this seems to hold some high regard. It's on a lot of lists as far as the 100 most influential films of all time, and getting beyond the director Roman Polanski and then his kind of
Yes.
controversy. He got a lot of accolades for this movie, and I don't think it's that good. And it's not just a era issue for me. It's that a good film can transcend eras and doesn't make you feel like you're in that era. And I think to your point, this one really makes you feel like you're in the 60s, and it's very hard to relate to it.
Yeah.
And I also just don't think it's very good. I don't think the acting they don't get really good performances. Mia Farrow drove me nuts in this movie. I thought she's Rosemary, and I have to watch her for far too long in this movie. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes. It's full of wasted moments and bloated long shots, and maybe for 1968 it was groundbreaking, but it just didn't do anything for me.
Yeah, it's very slow at times. And Mia Farrow's character, I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming maybe that's how women were back then, but she was very timid, very reserved, and she just didn't take a whole lot of action. And she was just like, oh, okay, this has happened. Okay, this is happening. This has happened. I'm getting impregnated by the devil. Oh, okay, this is happening. It's like, what? Do something, man.
That's a very interesting scene that you brought up. Okay, so that's the whole premise of this movie.
Yeah.
She gets impregnated by the devil's baby, and she has the devil's baby. However, that scene where it's happening and she wakes up and says, oh, this isn't a dream, this is real. It
Yeah.
was so bad that I didn't know whether to laugh or like, was that part of the dream? Or
Right.
it didn't work for me on so many levels. And the ending and the payoff are just as bad. It doesn't, nothing happens. Basically 2 hours and 20 minutes of nothing happening other than what we just told you. She has the devil's baby.
Yeah. And the scene after we get that dreamlike state scene where she gets raped by the devil and all the cult members and the witches, whatever you want to call them, are watching it. The next morning, she wakes up and she's got scratches on her, and her fiance or boyfriend or husband or whatever he is, she goes, hey, did we have sex? And he's like, oh yeah, we did. He goes, but I got scratches on me and I was asleep. You couldn't wait till I was awake. And this is what he said. He goes, I kind of like it, that necrophiliac style of sex. It was so awful. It was weird. I'm thinking, if somebody said that to me, I don't care if you're my wife or my fiance. If you tell me that you kind of like having sex necrophiliac style, get out of here. There's something wrong with you, man.
I'm going to concur with that. Never run into that, thank God. There's just a lot of moments like that, and it's really cringe worthy at some points where her fiance husband, is who actually I thought was probably the best actor of the entire movie, but he's so mean to her and he's so
douchey,
misogynistic and evil. And I know he is evil in the story, but it makes you wonder why at any point she's not like, deuces clown, I'm out of here. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to have a baby with you. You're a dick before, like even before that. So I just,
Yeah.
a lot of it just didn't make sense. And I thought that while there were some good cinematography moments, like some really cool shots set up and, you know, kind of tricking your mind and stuff, all in all, like it felt really light on story, light on acting, light on editing.
He was a struggling actor, right?
Yeah, he was like
a
a play
struggling
actor.
actor, and he made a pact with those two crazy ass old neighbors,
Mhm.
and that they were going to give him all this man fortune if he offered his wife to the devil to have a child. I mean, that's what the story is, right? I think.
Yeah, and I pretty much think that they blame it all on Rosemary, you know, like she was the one who made the dinner happen with the neighbors and he didn't want to go. And
Yeah.
then he got caught up in it. So, you know, it all comes
Yeah.
back to this Adam and Eve story where you know, it was the woman's fault. And they really portray it that way at the end. It's got such a weak ending where, you know, the whole cult, I guess, if you will, has the baby and she goes in with a knife and then she just kind of accepts that that's what happened and that's it.
Yeah. The baby's is a crib. It's a whole black crib with an upside down cross. You never see the baby. Those eyes, I believe, are the devil's eyes. Yeah, you never see the baby. So it leaves it up to the imagination. And then at the end of the movie, even though she's horrified, she kind of has this turn where she goes, "Oh, maybe it is my baby. Maybe I will love it." And then you get the credits, and it's like, what? Give me a break.
Kept waiting for some kind of climax, and it really is just a straight shot for 2 hours of like, well, we already knew this was coming. There are no surprises here. There really isn't a lot of scary moments. Like it's really laid out that she's having the devil's baby and there's no doubt and there's no you know, a lot of times it's like, you know, they portray the person as being crazy and you know, think that these things are happening, but it's pretty clear that it happened and she knows it's happened and it just kind of goes along with it.
I was really hoping we could see the baby at the end. I was like, man, just anything. Give me a gremlin jumping out of the crib. We get nothing coming from the crib. Just some crying baby.
We're gonna rate this. We're done. For all those that ever talk to me and just, you know, you got to see this. This is one of those horror classics. I'm gonna disagree here, and here's where we get down to it. What do we want to rate this?
Devil babies. Let's go.
How many devil babies?
How many devil babies? I mean,
love it. How many devil babies? I really wanted to give this like half a star, half a devil's baby. I'm gonna give it one devil's baby, and it's too long. There's not a lot of story to it. It drags in so many places. Like all the stuff we've touched on, I didn't like it, and I'm disappointed.
Okay, all right, a 1. I'm gonna go with a 1.5, just because I like the story. I think the story's is a good story. It just sucked the way they showed it. I wish they had more. I wish we could have seen the baby. It was long. It was so drawn out. But you know, I can see why some people like this movie. But for me, it just didn't work. So I'm gonna go with the 1.5. 1.5 demon, devil, childs, or whatever we're giving it. Devil babies. 1.5. I'm over it.
All right, this is not going to be on the rotation of holiday classics that either of these households are going to be watching anytime soon. This is Snooze Fest. Don't check it out. I do not recommend you watch it. And if you did watch it and you hold this in high regard and this is one of your favorites, let's get into it. Tell me why I'm wrong and why this is such a classic. But until next time, I've been your host, Gagne. With me, my partner, Naldo, and we are FYC Film Review. We'll catch you next time.
Have a good one, everybody. All right, see you later.